Well, hello to you. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you're doing good today. I'm doing pretty good, thanks. Still got the hole in my roof, but I've been asking builders. Just kind of hope they don't all turn up at once, you know. But you've got to ask a few different people to actually get someone to come and do things. Right now, I'm on my way to post some Christmas cards, get them in the mail. And we will do some cards in a minute. But I thought I'd do the intro from the car today. It's warming up a bit now, thank goodness for that. Freezing cold day in beautiful Wales, and I'm on the country roads, as you can see. So staying nice and grounded in the trees. Of course, it is New Moon Day, New Moon in Sagittarius, which is my sign. So, you know, I'm feeling the energy. Maybe you are too. I don't think you actually have to be the same sign as the new moon, but I'm really feeling it today for sure. And solar eclipse is happening as well. We're not going to see it in UK because it's coming in about something like 4:15 in the afternoon. And in this part of UK anyway, it's just about dark by then at this time of year. So we wouldn't really notice it anyway with our eyes. But I'm sure the third eye will see it. Not much doubt about that. Anyway, we will do some cards. It's always good to do some cards, especially when something magical is happening. Using the Radiant Rider Waite today, and we'll have a significatory pull from the Ascended Masters here to show us what's going on. Solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius, it's all happening. So I think what we'll do is a 5-card horseshoe at this point. Now then, hope I've got a better camera angle here than I had in the, you know, the big kind of longish, I can't remember what I called it now, but the big long reading that I posted last night. Thanks very much if you watched that. Sorry, I was cropping the heads off quite a few of the cards as we did that. Just one of those things. We sort of learn by our mistakes. So there is 1, 2. Just going to move things back a little bit. This is a piece of fluorite that a friend of mine gave me today. She's really generous. She gave me a little advent calendar, which is a wooden thing with drawers, and there's a little something in each drawer. And today it's fluorite, so I'm going to call this the stone of the day. And fluorite does not like resistance. That's its main kind of thing, apart from the amazing green energy. Okay, so I'm moving it back because it's not going to like card number 3 resisting it, as I put that one out there. Okay, it's still kind of in the way a little bit, but you know, how can a crystal get in the way? It's such beautiful energy. And I really should have thought this through, shouldn't I? Okay, card number 4 and card number 5, and we'll see where we go with this. Let me just move that one out of the way a bit, bring them all in. Have a quick check in the camera, make sure they're all in shot. My goodness, yes they are. Okay, so let's get cracking with this then. What is card number 1 going to be? Let's turn it over and find out. That's the best way, isn't it? 6 of Pentacles. Okay, great balance going on here. Sometimes this is saying it's a good thing to give something to charity. And I know we're all being asked a lot by charities at the moment because it's Christmas. But, you know, the festive season is a real great time to do that, to give something. And it looks like things are coming into balance. Now, we've got quite a few different political situations going on in different countries. I can't help thinking of the Trump situation at the moment, because this is quite a big day in terms of what's happening in the US elections at the moment. So we're seeing balance coming in anyway, and it's, you know, it's not just Trump, this is balance, this is what's happening today. So it's kind of manic energy, it's very strong energy that we get around a full moon or a new moon. They're both quite powerful times. But with the new moon, there's not much actually going on. You know, the nature energy of Gaia, of the Earth, is actually at a low, almost at a standstill. And when we get the solar eclipse, that's a real stopping of things as well. But it's a stopping because things are going to start. And it's a very powerful thing to have a kind of a blank page to write on, if you will. But we're seeing balance here. And this calming at the moment is really, you know, a good thing to have that balance and to have that calm to allow that balance to happen. So things are settling. But it's a Pentacles card, you know, it is very powerful energy, of course it is, and we are well along the journey of the Pentacles here. So if you've been working hard for something and it hasn't been paying off, get your manifesting head on. You could be this guy here getting paid. You could even be this guy here who's got so much money he can afford to hand it out, which is wonderful. Maybe you feel like this guy here, but he's got his ticket to greatness in his pocket there. So, you know, powerful energies. Looks like lots of good things could be going to happen in the near future. What you've really got to do is put the effort in, and that spiritual effort, put in that manifestational effort to really make sure you get where you need to be going at this time. So that's kind of, you know, it's sort of where things are. This really is the heart of the matter when we get to this one. But this is kind of where things are now today. What happens next? Let's have a shufti. 10 of Wands reversed. Now then, that's an interesting one, isn't it? To have it reversed like that. Well, 10 of Wands, if I just turn it around the right way for a second so we know what we're looking at. We've got the 10 Wands here. And this man can't actually see where he's going or what he's doing because he's got so much on. And this is one of the great things, actually, of coming to a time at new moon when there isn't much energy really kind of pushing and thrusting at things at the moment. It's all about the potential. So this is time to get things done. Almost like the energy of a void of course moon with this one. It really is going to be possible to put all these sticks down and just have a think about what's actually happening. But I don't want to put them down for long because they are actually in leaf. Things are growing, things are developing. So as we move forward from the Six of Pentacles there, things are developing. But this card is reversed. And I'm sure with the way the world is at the moment, a great many people will be concerned that they're not going to be able to put their plans into practice. They're not actually going to be able to get much done. And it is that kind of a time of year, really. It's the festive season. We've got all the political stuff going on around the world. We've got the pandemic, and we've just got all kinds of distractions, you know. So even if we put the 10 Wands down and have a look and actually can see where we're going, there's no guarantees that we're going to be able to get there. But at the same time, if we're really determined to do it, we can actually turn that card round the right way. And there is a lot of good energy there with the 10 of Wands. This shows things are happening, you know, and things can't be stopped. It might feel like they can be stopped, especially when it's upside down like that. But progress cannot be stopped. The world is always moving on and changing. So what is the heart of the matter? Card number 5, card number 3, the 5 of Swords. And when it comes in this position, this is kind of the heart of the matter. It's a little bit in the future because this is where we're starting off, obviously, with the 6 of Pentacles here. But we're moving forward. So we've had that. We've had the 10 of Wands inverted. And there's a good deal of mystery in this card. See how very much the cards, the clouds are actually slanted in this card. And this guy's kind of pinched 2 of the swords and he's pinching a 3rd one. These guys haven't got their eyes on the prize. That's the bottom line. And so that's a bit of a warning. Again, keep your eyes on the prize. I might actually put that in the title of this video because so far that is really, really what we need to do. It's going to be important to actually keep in mind what we want to do and stay focused on it. It's always good to stay focused, of course, on your goals. But in terms of making your dreams, making the things that you want to happen become a reality, you've really got to keep watching. Now, is this guy pinching the swords because he's kind of a thief? Or is he pinching the swords because, you know, he wants to teach these guys a lesson and he's going to come up after and say, here's your 3 swords that I pinched. That is more a meaning of the 7 of Swords, actually, but I'm seeing it in this card quite strongly. It really is indicated in the Rider Waite here. But keep your eyes on what you want to do. We've got the purple mountains in the distance over the sea. Who knows? You know, that sea represents an unknown journey, maybe even a dangerous journey. Who knows? How dangerous it could be. But at the same time, who knows what's going on in the mountains in the distance there. Looks like quite a pleasant land. and it looks like there's healing to be experienced there. So quite positive, but very slanted clouds. Nobody knows what they're doing, and this again is a thing that comes up when we've got a new moon. Also, the thought of a solar eclipse, as powerful as it is, it's a time when the sun actually gets blanked out from the world, and the sun is very much the boss in astrology. Just the fact that we can see a solar eclipse, and you might be able to see it in your part of the world, we won't see it here in Britain, but just the fact that a solar eclipse is something that's visible, even though it's more a lack of light than anything else, it is actually something we can see, and that is because the sun is the boss. All the moon energy and everything we see in the face of the moon is actually lit up by light that's reflected from the sun. So the sun is super important, and as it steps out of the picture very briefly today, who knows what's going on? Who knows what this journey across the sea holds? Who knows what's on the other side? It looks pretty good though. So again, keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused. And what is card number 4 going to tell us? Short-term future, the Tower of Destruction, number 16 in the Major Arcana. Now this does actually come 3 cards after the Death card, so this really isn't the end of the world. I know a lot of people fear this and think that this is a very bad indication when we get it, but if you look at the faces of the characters on this card, they're not bothered, they're not terribly upset. They've stretched their arms out to protect themselves, so that's quite important. As my old drill sergeant used to say, keep your umbrella up and you won't get rained on. He said something very different to rained. He said something rather rude, but they were kind of teaching us to be a bit like animals, really, to make sure we were sort of capable of fighting and everything. And that was the Air Force. And that was a Tower of Destruction for me when I joined the Air Force right back in 1980. I came out from the home I'd been in, came out from all the thoughts and aspirations of what I might do for a job to give me a comfortable life. And life was then anything but comfortable right through the boot camp time. And that was my Tower of Destruction in the early part of my life. But it made me a lot stronger. What doesn't kill you actually makes you stronger. So as we see the tower here, things are going to change. That's the bottom line. They're going to change in a way that we don't expect. That's the short-term future. So this is what we're looking at. Maybe a bit later this week, maybe a bit later this month, maybe as we go through the festive season and into the new year. It's not going to be what we think. Well, that's not much of a prediction, is it? But that's what this card is actually telling me. Let's see what we've got for an outcome. Now it's the High Priestess, and this is great. So we've really got keep your eyes on the prize here. We've got a bit of a warning here, but we're back to the idea of keeping our eyes on the prize here with the High Priestess. Okay, here she is between the two pillars, Bina and Shokma. One is masculine energy, one is feminine energy. So it's about the coming together of the divine. This could be a real good relationship. It's number 2 in the Major Arcana. So there is a coming together of things, most definitely. But there's work to be done. See down here it says Torah. And, those letters do actually come from tarot, but it's also making me think of the Torah, which is essentially what the Bible is based on, if you're Jewish, you'll know all about the Torah. But the Old Testament of the Bible, which is actually, I think, is ignored far too much by the Christian churches in this day and age. The Old Testament of the Bible is what actually supports the New Testament and supports the way that things have gone as the New Testament message has sort of spread throughout the world. And whatever you think of that, whether you're in support of that or not, the fact is that is the way of the world. Now, we've got to keep our eyes on the prize, but it's kind of difficult with this card because there's a curtain behind the High Priestess and it's blocking out the prize, which, as if we look very kind of carefully up here, we've got a sea going across from just behind the curtain to a green and pleasant and rather beautiful looking land on the other side of that sea. And so that journey is indicated again, and you've got to really be focused on what you want to get past this stage. But the High Priestess will let you through. You've just got to be aware of her wisdom, as we see with the Torah here. So there we are. As we go through this reading, there's a lot telling us to really keep our eyes on what we want to achieve, what we want to manifest, what we want to actually bring into being. I've got some biscuits here. I'm going to bring them into being soon and have one. But before we do that, and I'm not feeding them to the cats, by the way. I only give the cats tiny little crumbs of biscuits because it's not good for them. But we will have an Ascended Masters card. This is a very old deck. It's a Doreen Virtue deck from Hay House. And I've been reading with it really ever since I got onto the leg of my journey where I was a spiritualist medium. So, and I still am, by the way. I am. But I found out that I was a spiritualist medium at that time, you see. And this was the deck that came into my life then. So let's just have one card from the Ascended Masters just to give us a bit more information about what is going on in this spread. We'll just kind of cut the deck. We'll just pull a bit out of the middle and we'll have a bit more of a shuffle. And then I'll turn over the top one and it's this one. And we've got Archangel Michael on the back. So there's protection there as we go on this journey, most certainly. Choose peace. Okay, I keep telling you we've got to keep our eyes on the prize as we go forward with this energy from this time of the new moon in Sagittarius. And it is, because it's a Sagittarian moon, it involves that idea of things getting a bit too much and springing back from it the way the Sagittarius energy does. And I know that because I'm a Sag myself. So stay focused, that's the main thing. And a really great way to stay focused is choosing peace, because as the distractions come in that make us want to turn away from whatever it is we're trying to manifest, from whatever it is we're trying to achieve, if we just choose peace, if we just take some time out, drop down into that space of meditation, as Paramahansa Yogananda is telling us to as this card's come up, then we are actually going to see much stronger possibilities of achieving what we want to achieve. Because if you don't have to rush to do all the work at once, if you don't have to get involved in all the distractions, if you choose peace, then it just becomes an easier journey, and that allows you to keep in that manifestational frame of mind as you go forward. So there are the cards. What did the cards say to you? That's the important thing, These readings are done with the intention that so many different people will be able to get some understanding of what's going on. So what did those cards actually say to you? And more importantly, what is the prize? We kept getting that thing of keep your eyes on the prize, and that is so important to do. But it's difficult to do because we've got to get all this stuff sorted. Now, a good thing to do, and it's very easy for me to say because I've just been out in the car and posted all my Christmas cards. Very easy, too easy, in fact, for me to say, is get all those things out of the way, get them done, because they're going to have to get done in a matter of the next few days, really. Get your Christmas tree up and decorate it. I must admit, I haven't finished decorating mine. It could do with a bit more tinsel. Long years ago when my children were small, they would decorate it and they would just get all the tinsel out of the box and just plaster the whole tree with Christmas, with tinsel, which I guess is the same to them anyway as plastering it with Christmas. But it would look like a kind of tree-shaped blob, very roughly tree-shaped blob. But anyway, it needs a bit more tinsel than that. It needs a bit more kind of cheer going on with it than that. And, there are spiritual influences, spirit people around all of us all the time. And I know for a fact they really appreciate this, because this is that family connection that you have with your loved ones in the spirit world. It sums it all up at Christmas. They're going to be close to you anyway, so give them a tree, okay? And give the tree sprites a tree to live in your house. It's good energy. It makes things happen and it makes things work. So, fantastic times ahead, I guess. As we were looking at things there, we got that Tower of Destruction just in the short-term future there. Doesn't mean everything's going to fall apart, but it means something's going to change. Something that you didn't expect to change is actually going to change, so things are going to be different. So you might as well get all the Christmas stuff done, get all the festive stuff done. Christmas, New Year, it's going to pass very quickly. It's about 2 weeks ahead of this day as I make this video. So, in fact, actually less than that. It's 11 days away as I make this video. So get this sorted. It doesn't take... doesn't take anything like as long as you think to get all these things sorted. It really doesn't. Get your cards in the post, get things sorted out, get everything on the road for the festive season, and then you can get back into that manifestational frame of mind. And that is so important, because 4 out of those 5 cards were all about keeping our eyes on the prize. That is so important. You know, the things that you want to manifest are actually the things that you were sent into this world to do. It's that important, you know. So stay focused on all that as much as you possibly can. Meanwhile, thanks everyone who's been watching the live videos, and I really appreciate all the views I got on the long marathon tarot reading that I posted on, I don't know, it was Sunday, I think. Really great. I didn't know how that was going to work. I'm very sorry the cards got beheaded. I set the camera up where I thought it was going to be right, and then I recorded the whole thing. And you'd think I should record it all again, wouldn't you? But it's an energy thing. I asked my spirit guides for the words, and I can't just dump those words and that wisdom off just because I got a bad camera shot. So that, I'm afraid, is why I ran with it. Sorry about that. I hope I had a better camera angle there. So do stay tuned, because more videos are coming, and I dare to think I'm actually getting a bit better at these things as I go along. That's not such a certain thing, but it's a certain thing in my mind. It's what I'm trying to manifest, and that's the prize that I've got my eyes on. Meanwhile, friends, let's cut back to the car and I can say my goodbyes. So, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks very much for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button, guys. It really massively helps the channel if you would only subscribe. There are more videos, more readings coming all the time, and kind of more info. Leave me a comment, please, too. It's always great to hear from you guys, and it's great thing to share the journey. I'm sure we're all drawn together for a reason. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again very soon in a future video. Love, light, blessings, and peace.